Hello, this is Ryan Riccatelli with asnews.net and the Kiteboarder Magazine, and I'm standing here with Mark Shinn. The man, I haven't talked to you in years. It's great to see you, and you got your board line here, Nobile, and Mark's going to take us through the line and kind of tell us a little bit about what's up with the boards.
Thanks, Ryan. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, dude. It's been a long time, man, and where are you living these days?
I'm still living in Canary Islands in Tenerife, but I'm still traveling a lot too.
And you have a whole kite center down there and teaching people to kite?
Yeah, well, it's mainly a test center that I have there. We work in conjunction with a school, but there's a lot of guys that want to try a lot of different gear, and the center has equipment from all the major brands, so you can come and rent gear and test everything you want.
And rumor has it you'll be back in the competition scene?
Well, I'm going to go and do a wave event. I'm not feeling as competitive as I once did, but it'll be good to catch up with all the guys again, and it's since 2004 I didn't go to a competition, so it'll be fun.
For those of you who don't know, Mark was a world champion and a definite competitor, competed on the world tour for a long time, and the guy is the ultimate competitor is what I can say. He set the standard in terms of that, and I've heard that from a lot of the athletes that have been competing in that time. Will James just spent a couple weeks with me and told me you were the most dedicated, committed professional kiteboarder you'd ever met. So anyway.
Well, I was the oldest as well, so I had a real job before I started kiteboarding, and it gives you a different perspective. You know how lucky you are not to be working in an office in a suit and tie. So.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you take us through your boards, man?
Okay. Well, this is our 2008 range. It's just here. This is the first showing of the range. Basically, it's been a process of tweaking and improving rather than radical reinvention, and it seems to be working. People seem to really like the boards. But for us, our focus is really trying to make the boards as easy and as fun to use as possible. You know, it's good to have a high-performance board, but if you're not smiling when you go out on the water, or if you're finding your board's killing you every time you go out, that's not fun. We start with our 555 model. That board is really aimed towards easy to use. It's all round, you know. This is not a specialist board. This is a board for anyone. If you've just come out of a kite school, if you've been kiting a while, you want to concentrate on your moves and having fun, not on controlling the board, then this board is really good. It's a really good board for you. It has a lot of flex in the tail, which makes it soft in chop, makes it easy to ride, and then, like I say, above all, comfortable.
Which is always important. And so what sizes do those range in?
We have a lot of sizes, going from a dedicated women's size, from 125 right the way up to 140 by 44 for light winds and heavyweight riders. So there should be a size in there to fit everyone.
Let's check out the straps and pads real quick and it looks like you guys have some proprietary straps and pads.
We call it our integrated foot pad system. We wanted to create a system that fits every foot, which is not so easy. A conventional strap adjusts on the side by hinging like this. The problem with that is the geometry of the strap moves as you adjust it. So for a small foot or a big foot, it doesn't really fit well. So what we tried to do is we tried to create a system where the strap can adjust vertically and not hinged. And that means that the geometry of the strap remains the same if you have a small foot or a big foot, or you're wearing a boot, or you share your board with your girlfriend. You know, it works. It should be as comfortable for every foot as it is for the ideal size.
Absolutely. That's a great little system there. Good for travel too.
It's really easy. It's also really easy to assemble the board because the screws are pre-inserted into the pad. So you pretty much just have to line it up and screw them in and you're ready to go.
Awesome. Well, and you have some other boards here.
Yeah. This is our 666 board. The 666 is our highest performance board. It's a freestyle board, and everything is done in it to make it as fast, as good upwind with as much pop as possible. Of course, it's no good having an incredibly high performance board if you can never get a clean release because it's too difficult. So it's a question of balancing the amount of flex in the board with the performance. And this year we've created a lot more flex in the tip area, just in this area, which means when you're riding the board you have control over it, but the mold shape here stiffens the center section of the board, which means when you come flat on the board to get pop, it's actually stiffer. A board like the 555, which has flex right the way across the tail, is very, very comfortable and easy to use, but there is some penalty in pop. the 666 board with this mold design is something more performance, but hopefully still comfortable to sail.
That's a neat looking board. Got some bling graphics there. And what sizes does this come through? Is it all the same? Or?
This range also comes with we also have a dedicated women's board. That's the board you see at the top there. And then we have sizes from 126 by 38 all the way up to 135 by 44.
Wow, that's a lot. And then show us this Shinn board here. It's got your name on it.
The Shinn board comes in two ranges. We have the Shinn twin tip and we have the Shinn wave board.
Okay.
The Shinn twin tips, this is a board designed to be as versatile as possible. You know, if you want a freestyle board, you should be looking for the 666. If you want a board that does everything, it's good carving, it's good in choppy water, it's good for big air, light winds, strong winds, you know, a real free ride board, then that's what this board is aimed at. It has something of a compromise mold for the tail flex between the 555 and the 666. You still have some overall flex in the tail, which means it's really good in the carving and really soft, but it's stiffer in the later sections here, which gives it an improved pop over a 555.
That's a nice looking board.
And this board has a synthetic leather finish on it, just for
pimp status.
To pimp it out, yeah. the gold ink glistens quite nicely when it gets wet.
That's a nice looking board. Well, show us your wave board. Show us like what your ideas behind that.
The wave board here, this is not a board to compete with a surfboard. You know, the ultimate weapon for surfing is a surfboard, of course. But there's a lot of guys out there that come from wakeboarding or snowboarding. You know, they're twin tip riders, and the whole concept of jibing is pretty alien to them and pretty difficult. So they're looking for better performance in the waves without having to go to a dedicated surfboard. And that's really where this board comes in. It has a lot of options for foot strap positioning on it, and you can ride it from a twin tip position where you never have to jibe it, or you can set the strap right back and use it as a full directional. It's up to you.
That's awesome. And is this one of the boards that you ride in the waves, or do you have another board that you ride for waves?
Yeah, if it's onshore and small, then this board is really fun. We used a pretty flat rocker, which normally would mean the board doesn't turn. But by thinning the walls down and controlling the flex in the tail, you can actually force the rocker into the board when you want it to turn. So you've got an easy planing, fast upwind board, which is good for onshore conditions, but it still turns and it's pretty slashy.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time and taking us through this. I know that you're not all about the techie tech stuff, so you're lucky to have this much out of the guy. But good luck in the contest. I'll be definitely rooting for you, man. Take down some of the young boys, some of those young guns.
But you know, for me, I just want to go there and have a good time and ride with the boys again. So
awesome. All right, brother.
Thanks
Talk to you soon. Thanks, man. That's awesome.